Hey guys, Captain Marvel here again with another story time. I hope that you guys are still staying home and staying safe and working really hard on your schoolwork. Today we are going to read another one of my favorite stories, The Three Little Pigs. Do you guys know this story? Let's see what happens. Once there were three little pigs. They set out into the great big forest to look for a nice spot to build homes. The first little pig gathered up straw to build his house. Swish, swash, swish. The second little pig gathered up sticks to build his house. Plickety, plackety, plick. The third little pig gathered up bricks to build his house. Ploppity, cloppity, clop. What do you think's going to build the better house? The first two pigs finished their houses in no time. They said to the third pig, "You're working too hard. Why don't you come play?" But he kept right on building. Clink, clunk, plop, swack. He's building a pretty cool house. Finally, he was all finished. He relaxed by a warm fire inside his safe, strong house. That's what you guys should be doing, right? Staying home. One day, a big, bad wolf came to the straw house of the first little pig. He could smell a kettle of soup, and it made him very hungry. He said, little pig, let me in." If you guys know the story, say it along with me, okay? But the first little pig replied, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." It's a funky looking wolf. So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." With a swoosh and a whoosh, the straw house blew away. The first little pig jumped up and ran all the way to the second pig's house. The next day, the big bad wolf came to the house of the second little pig. He could smell a fresh loaf of bread baking in the oven. He said, little pig, let me in." What did the pig say? "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." With a gust of air and a crack and a crash, the stick house fell to the ground. Both pigs jumped up and ran all the way to the third pig's house. When the third little pig heard about the wolf, he was glad his brothers were safe. He said, "You must be hungry and tired. Sit down and have some pie." That's a really nice brother. The big bad wolf came to the third pig's house and smelled the pie. He said, little pig, let me in." What did the third pig say? "Not by the hair on my what? Chinny chin chin." So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He puffed and blew with all his might, but the brick house wouldn't fall down. So he gruffed and snuffed and blew again, and the brick house just wouldn't fall. It's a pretty strong house. The wolf had never had this happen before. He sat down on an old log and began to cry. Sometimes it's okay to cry, especially when you're really frustrated. The third little pig said, there, Mr. Wolf, you don't have to be sad. You have a remarkable talent. You could use your talent for better things than blowing down houses." See, they're being nice. "I have an idea," said the third little pig. Outside the woods, they heard the sounds of children laughing and playing. It was the local fair, and everyone was going. What do you think they're going to do? It's a twist on an old story. The three little pigs and the big, sad wolf all went to the fair. "Here's a wonderful way to use your talent," said the third little pig. With a huff and a puff, the wolf started blowing up colorful balloons. Do you guys have any special talents? All the children came to see the fun sizes and shapes. The wolf was happy and amazed to have so many new friends. He wasn't bad or sad anymore. He was the big, glad wolf. While the big, glad wolf huffed and puffed, the first little pig sold straw baskets, the second little pig played the fiddle, and the third little pig sat peacefully under the shade of an oak tree. The end. The reason I love this story is because it's about overcoming all obstacles. And if you have read my comics or seen my movie, you know that no matter how many times I get knocked down, I get back up. And that's how I want you guys to be right now. I know that it's a tough time and sometimes you feel sad or mad or even a little bit scared, but know that your parents and the doctors and your teachers and your friends and family are all here to support you. And I'm super proud of you guys. So stay home, wash those hands, and get back to work.